Hello, I'm here with your February 28th, 2021 tarot using the Crow Tarot. I have done an extensive pre-shuffle and now we ask that our messages for the last day of February, which also happens to be on a Sunday. Go figure. I purposely chose this deck. I had a little bit of an interesting encounter. Not up close and personal, but close enough that I took notice today with one of my neighborhood ravens. Was on my couch, and this large raven came swooping down close enough to the house that he created, I'm assuming I kind of refer to all ravens as male. I guess that's just the energy that I pick up from them. But he left, when he came swooping down, he made this great big huge shadow, and there was absolutely no getting around not noticing him. And he sat on my neighbor's house. Now I know the houses are fairly close. There's only about 50 feet between the houses. But he sat, or stood, I should say, on my neighbor's house, right in plain view of the window, flew across to my house, sat on the eaves trough or the gutter, depending where you're from as to what they're called, to the point where his tail feathers were sticking completely over the edge. And you know what? I don't think they're done talking. Anyway, his tail feathers were sticking completely over the edge, so I got basically mooned by this raven. And then he flew back across to my neighbor's roof, and he cawed twice, which was just so strange. It was like he was purposely trying to get my attention. And then he came down onto the walkway leading up to my front door, and he stood there for quite some time. And another bird must have dropped something on the walkway, because I had gone out earlier and there was nothing there. But this raven was looking for something, and long enough to the point where I was able to grab my camera and see where he was. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get a picture because the angle of where he was in relation to the window, I just couldn't see him well enough. And then when he flew off with whatever it was he picked up, he made sure he flew close enough to the window where he left yet another huge shadow. And this guy was huge. I mean, we have some big ravens up here, but this guy was bigger than my friend's cat. I know the cat isn't super huge, but this is saying a lot about a bird. Alrighty, there it is. I knew there was something else to come out. We have, out of the 4, we have 3 major arcanas. So if anybody knows anything about spiritual messages with ravens, I don't get a bad feeling from this one. Some people think they're messengers of death, some shapeshifters. Some are just tricksters and jesters. Leave your thoughts below if you have any knowledge on what they may be, what the message might be. That's my little story. I also had a rather large bird. I thought it was a robin at first, but it's way too early for them up here. And it was way too big to be a robin. That was right before the whole raven thing. So anybody who knows anything more about birds and what their spiritual correlations could be, this other bird, I didn't get a good enough look at it to see what else it could be. So we're kind of out of luck there. rust colored, not bright red like a cardinal. Like I said, I thought it was a robin. Anyway, on to the reading. Enough about my bird stories. The last time I had bird coincidences like this was right after I had left policing and was on a journey, literally. Anyway, to the reading. Enough about birds. We start off with the Tower. Something that shakes us to our core. It is rocking our foundation. It is exposing things that are where there is a weakness, what needs to be torn down and rebuilt, preferably on a good, solid foundation. Now, this news, whatever this is, this news or event that is shocking does not have to be bad to be shocking. Good news can also be very shocking. Up next, the only minor arcana out of the entire body of the reading, minus the bottom of the deck, doesn't have quite as strong as an influence. It's more of what's playing out in the background. Anyway, we have the Two of Cups. Partnerships, romance. There are two emotional forces coming together with an invested goal in mind, something we love, we are tied to. It does not have to be romantic relationships, although for me the Two of Cups usually does signify that. Twos are also about balance. And I do believe that balance is more of the key to this particular card in this reading. Why? Because we have the major arcana card of the Star. Star card talks about hopes, dreams, balance. There's also the card of Aquarius. I can't off the top of my head remember what the Tower card is. Sorry guys. It's one of those days I'm a little exhausted. Up next we have card of Leo. Strength card has the infinity sign. We have an infinite supply of inner strength. I just noticed in the Star card, we're going to backtrack a bit, back to that bird that I have no idea what it was that flew into the tree. Kind of looks like this bird. Same color. Anyway, the Strength card, infinite supply of inner strength. You don't know how strong you are until you have to be. But using your strength does not have to mean using brute force. You can do so with grace and gentleness. Inner strength can just be making a really tough decision. It doesn't have to be steamrolling everybody. It might mean steamrolling everybody, but it doesn't have to. And we have, off the bottom of the deck, the Six of Swords. Swords is air energy. Cups is water. Star is air. Strength is fire. Tower, I'm not sure off the top of my head right now. Sorry. Six of Swords, what's playing out underneath, the undercurrents, things that are kind of moving in the background. It is literally movement. The Six of Swords is moving out of rough water into calmer water. We're moving out of a turbulent time into something that is much more calm. It is also potential travel relocation. This is a definite travel and movement card for me. Now, anybody who is a newer tarot reader, sixes are usually about movement or progress. Can indicate balance. The only one I can think of off the top of my head really with balance is the Six of Pentacles. And that's more about flow, which I guess in a way is movement. But the Six of Swords is definitely a movement card. And it is movement for the better. I'm starting to get a feel for this Tower card. And I do believe that this Tower moment is going to be bringing in balance, harmony, we may have to be graceful about accepting this news. It is something that we have really had a lot of hopes and dreams pinned on. It is going to help usher us out of a time of turbulence, something that we've really kind of poured our heart into. This energy I'm feeling is how we kind of roll into March. Now, funny thing about March, in like a lion, out like a lamb, vice versa, in like a lamb, out like a lion. Yeah, there's the lion. Although our forecast locally, I think for the 1st of March is just kind of cold but sunny. So not really either lamb or lion. Back to the reading. I am so sidetracked today. This news that we are expecting to hear in the very near future, if we don't hear it on Sunday, the last day of February 28th, if we don't hear it, then we can expect to hear it in the very near future. It's going to shake us to our core. I just saw 11:11 on my timer. Oh, fingers crossed, hopes and dreams. That partnership, maybe you are going to be getting some good news about a business partnership you've entered into. It does, like I said, it does not have to be romance when it comes to that partnerships. It's just something you have really poured your heart and soul into. Again, be graceful, particularly if it is good news. Ride that wave. Smoother times are coming. And this is a super long video, so I'm going to leave it here. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.